Just about 4 minutes after 11 o'clock. Nice looking day, huh? It's Thursday, right? Isn't it Thursday? We are going to talk about one of the most serious topics, I guess, that is out there. I guess when it comes to health, I guess there's not any topic that isn't serious. But we're going to speak about the importance of breast cancer screenings. And so in the studio, we have a panel of people from the Ocala Health System. I hope I have everything right here. Haley Creasy, good morning. Thank you for coming in. Where's your microphone? Hold on, I'll turn him on. I'll figure this out eventually. I didn't figure it out last time, did I? There you are. Okay. Haley, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, come on, I don't hear you. Okay, now try it. Now. Try it again, Haley.
Good morning.
Thank you. There you are. Lisa Beecher is here. Lisa?
Good morning.
Thank you for coming in. And Kelly McNeil. Am I saying your name right, Kelly? Good morning. And then Justin Lamb.
Good morning.
And the silent partner today is Brittany, is it Martha? Marthala. Okay. Thank you, Brittany, for coming in. Good to see you again, by the way. I've been to at least one wedding with Brittany. My son's wedding, yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, that's my connection. My connection with Brittany is my son. Well, anyway, so thank you, ladies, for coming in. Of course, Robin is here as well, and I think I have everybody's microphone on. So where do we start? The importance of breast cancer screening. Is there any... let me kind of introduce you a little bit better. Haley is the service line director for oncology and general surgery at Ocala Health System. Lisa Beecher is the director of advanced imaging centers. Kelly McNeil is a nationally recognized mammography technologist. So you might be the first person we speak to, because you might be the first person. You don't want me to? You might be the first person who a lady would see. And then Justin Lamb, of course, is the community relations manager of advanced imaging. In fact, you might be the first person that somebody might see. But Kelly, let's start with you for a second. How do you become nationally recognized at that? That's pretty cool.
Well, I believe that's just a ranking that you get when you graduate and you become part of the ARRT or the ASRT. Those are just nationally recognized organizations that you get when you become a radiographer.
Okay, and that's probably important to know. If you're seriously worried about the fact that you may have breast cancer and you want to have a test, you want somebody who's nationally recognized. So that's probably a good credential to have, I would think, right?
So that they know what they're doing, yes.
Have you been doing it long enough to be able to tell me if it's really drastically different, the whole procedure, from even 5 years ago?
Oh, probably every 5 years it does change, but I have been doing it for 15 years at Advanced Imaging, and the changes I've seen have been very dramatic. Now we have digital mammography, which is wonderful. It is much better, and for the doctors to read the films and for us to keep track of the films all around, it's much easier on the patient. It's not as you don't have to be as scared to have a mammogram anymore, because it's not so painful that you can barely stand it. That I get that every day, where they come in and they say, oh wow, this doesn't hurt near as bad as it used to. So it's not something to be afraid of anymore. They have definitely figured out how to do it right.
Well, that's good, and Robin would be able to speak to this better than I could. But it sounds like it wasn't a pleasant experience, right?
No, not at all.
So Justin, let me talk to you as a man. Is this an awkward topic for you to talk about it with ladies in general?
Well, no, it's not. And actually, I've been very comfortable speaking with them, but a lot of times I'm not really in that situation where I'm discussing that with them. But it's important because for men to also realize that we can be impacted by breast cancer as well.
Yes, we definitely. We see 1 to 2 men a week.
Oh, really?
Yes, we definitely do them on men, for sure.
But are they coming in on their own, or is the doctor saying you better go?
No, it's not on a screening basis, on more of they feel something and come in, but we definitely see men often.
Okay. Is the procedure different for a man and a woman?
Nope, exactly the same.
Exactly the same. Except that the outcome obviously would be different.
Right, most of the time they come in with a problem and we're helping to calm their fears. Most women come in on a screening basis just to make sure that everything is looking the same and year to year, making sure they don't have anything that we need to catch early.
So, and Lisa, you're like over the whole the whole building or something? Are you the head person?
I'm the director of both centers, yes.
You're the director, so you must get everything must trickle up to you. Does that seem fair?
Yes, I guess you could say that.
So are there problems that are daily, and then every once in a while there's something that, oh my goodness, this is out of the blue? Do you have both scenarios? Like every day there's a similar, maybe not problem, maybe it's not the right word, but challenge, the right challenge?
Well, one thing with breast cancer, mammograms, is that it is a very delicate thing for women. When they come in, that's probably where we get our most challenge, is keeping those women calm, appeasing their fears, like Kelly said.
Right.
And sometimes that's almost impossible to do. Sometimes they've already had a really bad experience, usually somewhere else, and with the old technology where it was very painful, so they already have that in their mind.
Right.
And then sometimes I do get, a phone call here and there just saying, it was, I really have only had a couple that said that it was painful. So, but those are usually very delicate women that just...
Was the pain because of the pressure? Was there...
Sometimes women have dense breasts, and that does cause more pain than somebody with the fatty tissue breasts.
Can a woman come in on her own, or does she need a referral? Because sometimes when cancer is prevalent in a family, the woman just wants to get it checked out right away without going to a doctor.
Well, we do some self-referrals. I'm going to let Kelly speak about that. We do that. We try to encourage you, because what happens is if you don't have a doctor that follows you, then who are we going to send the report to? So I think Kelly knows a little bit more about what her patients do when they come in as a self-referral, and then how do they make sure that they get the follow-up care. Can you answer that, Kelly?
Yes, our self-referral policy definitely, first of all, you can come in and have a mammogram and not have a doctor and just want to be screened. That is perfectly acceptable. Then at that point, we make sure you understand that if we do find something, that you will need to see a doctor to have follow-up care. But if nothing comes of it and it's just a regular screening and you get a letter in the mail saying everything looks fine, then that's all you ever have to do. You don't have to go to the
that's got to be the best piece of mail you ever got, right?
That's right.
And that's the day you go out and have a nice dinner or something, right? Right? That's what it sounds like to me. Haley, we're not leaving you out, but you are involved with the surgery, so you are the person that we would go to last, right?
Absolutely. It's so critical for us to work as a good community provider, and having that good turnkey, communication, especially with the imaging center. It's critical for these women's follow-up, and also to go through the next pieces. Should they need navigation? Should they need genetic counseling and testing? Those are key pieces that are really an integral part of that comprehensive care. And with, breast cancer, it's really critical because it is one of the most common cancers outside of skin cancer for women, and it's also the second leading cause of cancer-related death. So it is important that we do get these women to the imaging centers. And there are a lot of barriers, like they had stated, whether they're scared to, they don't want to know what the outcome is, or if it's cost-related. And we are very, very lucky in this community to have some fantastic resources that will help women get those services.
How long will it take a woman after she has the surgery and they do remove a breast? How long does it take for her to recover and go home?
That really depends on the type of surgery that they have, if it's just a mastectomy or if they have reconstruction. So that'll be dependent upon that physician relationship with the patient and having those discussions, whether it's a surgery that's together or individual, and that will be really dependent upon the case, the individual case.
I'm guessing all four of you have to act as counselors in the course of dealing with the people that you're working with. I'm guessing that's probably true. One of the things, Robin and I do the news every day, so one of the things that's in the news lately is this notion that the preventive, the proactive approach to having a mastectomy, and you've heard some famous examples, getting both breasts taken off because there's a 10% chance they might get cancer. Just this morning, right? There was another story that said, well, it's not really 10%, it's more like 2%. And doctors are saying this is probably not a good idea. Does anybody want to comment on that? And have you seen it here? I mean, do you have women right here coming in and doing, is it Angela?
Yes, Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
And
Right.
as soon as
That's
that
it.
broke the news, we are very lucky that we have a fantastic genetic counselor who is now local with us, who is certified in genetic counseling and testing. And she's working with the community and the providers to really help bridge that gap. There are so many questions, and it really depends on that counseling piece that's critical for women and their families to understand who is at risk and who needs to to be tested, and then what do we do from there? So it's really the physician, the genetic counselor, and also the patient and family involvement to help make those critical decisions.
Would the decision to have a mastectomy, and again, I'm going back and forth with the timing, but would the decision 10 years ago perhaps not be that same decision today? I mean, we've heard stories of what do you call it? You just go through the little laparoscope, what do you call it?
Laparoscopic surgery.
Right? And just take a part out or something, a lump, rather than the whole breast?
Absolutely, and that really depends on the case. So the case specifications would make that, that transition into what's the next best step for me. So really going through those counseling pieces and talking with your doctor and making sure that you're being able to weigh every option, but certainly the advances with imaging and also having that awareness of what's the next step, that's really critical nowadays. So those changes have been really helpful.
When a woman comes to you and then you do discover something not normal, and she's of childbearing age, do you get the question, can she have children if this is taken care of?
Absolutely, and those are options that we can discuss as a whole system with the patient and also with the provider. Those are really some key questions, whether it's for male cancers or female cancers.
Justin, I want to ask you something. As community relations manager, are you available to speak to groups?
Probably for...
Like if a community center or civic club said, you know what, or church said, hey, can we invite somebody in here to talk about the maybe, or just answer questions of the people who are present?
Yeah, typically when if there's a seminar or something like that, we've been engaged to come out to. I kind of coordinate that, and then we send out some of our techs and other personnel that's more educated in probably roundtabling some of those discussions and those conversations.
Oh, okay. And so they call you, or you actually seek them out?
Oh, we both.
Okay.
But if we've been approached by several organizations, church groups, that are wanting to have a Power and Pink Day type of thing, and we coordinate with setting up the time and getting one of our techs there to be able to speak with them and engage with them.
I don't know if Brittany knew this about me. I doubt it, but I used to work at an assisted living facility. Mm-hmm. Work. Did I say live? I used to work at a living facility.
That too.
I used to work at a living.
You were there a lot.
Yeah. And I would invite guys like you to come in and talk. I mean, we would get requests to be invited from, people who had probably something they wanted to sell. And I would be very careful not to bring somebody like that in. But somebody with just pure information, like what you're talking about, it would be awesome. And probably now let's talk about that age group of lady. Is there a time when you say, you know what, don't worry about it. You're 89 years old. It's nothing to worry about anymore.
No, there's no end age. It's
Okay.
keep coming, and if you can keep coming, you still get there.
Because of what the four of you do, I think you've made it easier for people to be public and have everyday conversations with what they're feeling, because now this might open up the communication between the woman and her spouse, or the woman and her mom, or even their friends, in just a very intimate setting where you're chatting around the dinner table.
Absolutely. It's really critical, and I think we can also branch into one of the biggest factors goes back to that cost. People are so worried about going and getting their screenings, and there's a lovely organization in town, Michellegrams, that helps women to be able to get these services, that works in partnership with Advanced Imaging.
Wow. Now, would they need to know about that in advance, or is that something you would be there as a counseling position where you would say, hey, so what do they have to do? They mention, look, I got money problems, and
Lisa and the team can speak to advanced imaging, but from our perspective, as someone calls the Cancer Center, that's our main goal, is to make sure that they get access to those resources. And I would believe it would be the same thing if they call and stated they had any issues. That would be a process. That
we could direct them, and that's a big part of what we're doing this month and through October, is standing up to breast cancer, and we're partnering with Michellegram, and we're using the Pink Flamingo campaign to do that, to raise money for women and all of the proceeds from that go right to Michellegram. And we have had hundreds of women come through our system that used Michellegram as a resource.
Where did the name come from, Michellegram? A lady named Michelle?
Yes, it was
33 years old, and she developed breast cancer, and she's no longer with us.
Oh, really?
Her family's kind of started this organization,
Oh, wow.
small, and then next thing you know, it's grown and grown.
Isn't that amazing how things like that happen, right?
So did you get all the pink flamingos from Silver Springs when they closed?
Ooh, Justin didn't think of that. Then we would have had to keep feeding them, so.
And Justin, as the community relations manager, you not only seem to manage the everyday people at the center, but also the people that come in and out. You have to make sure that everybody on staff has to put on a happy face every day. They can't bring their personal problems to work. How do you manage to do that?
That'd actually be more of what Lisa's responsibilities would be. My responsibility is more for just coordinating and communicating certain activities, the causes that we might be supporting, also going out and speaking with providers in their offices about utilizing our services at Advanced Imaging.
It's more
but we
community
do.
relations instead of employee relations. I take care of the employee relations.
I got you. Okay.
Do you go to schools, Justin, when you go?
We haven't, since I've joined the team, we have not approached any schools, but that's something that Haley and I have talked about for going into next year on the ways that we can kind of broaden and expand the Standing Up to Breast Cancer campaign.
Because my daughter was 15 when she was diagnosed with a lump, but then she went to, my gynecologist, and then he was able to make it dissipate. So thank God that, she's been, nothing had happened, but that's a pretty scary thing when you're a teenager.
And you bring up such a good point. I've done a lot of talks at local agencies like Pay Center for Girls and United Way, and the younger girls of our generation have so many questions, and a lot of times they don't know who to ask. So it's really important to have that open communication with your children, especially as they're developing, to be able to answer those questions and make sure we're directing them to physicians or other personnel to be able to help make those correct diagnoses.
Yeah, I would imagine, I'm a guy, so I'm imagining probably from an outsider, but it would seem that a young girl, her whole life is ahead of her. And a lot has to do with, the way you look, obviously. And when you're 89, it's more about living and continuing to live, I would think. Well, of course, I'm probably wrong about that. It's probably just as important when you're 89. I don't know.
87.
You're 87? Wow, you look great. Wow.
I'm going to your hairdresser.
Wow. Pounds, maybe. Haley Creasy is here. Lisa Beecher is here. Kelly McNeil and Justin Lamb. They are here from Ocala Health System. We're talking about the importance of breast cancer screening. If you have a question for the panel, you are definitely invited to call in. The number is 622-WOCA. That is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline. And kind of going back to the focal point of the visit today, the screening part of all of this. I'm so distracted by everybody. Guy at the window. What can you say? Well, anyway, so the screening part of it, is it what do you? Is it the same recommendation as we've always heard? Is it once a year, once every 6 months? What is it?
Kelly can answer that.
It's once a year, starting at age 40.
Starting at 40?
Starting at age 40.
I didn't realize that.
Yes. If you have a history of breast cancer or, a strong family history, they recommend you coming in maybe starting at 30, getting a baseline, waiting a couple years, checking again, but definitely 40 is when you start.
And do you use your family background, the history of the other women in your family, as a way to maybe do it before 40? Like if
Right.
Your mother
yes,
was
your doctor should be able to help you with that if you make sure and let them know about the family history of breast cancer. He can help you judge when you need to come, but most of the time, if you do have a family history, you will want to come earlier and start checking earlier.
And two other key pieces I would suggest that have been recommended by American Cancer Society and also the National Cancer Institute is self-breast exams beginning at age 20, where women are becoming comfortable in learning about their breasts and whether they have dense breasts or irregularities, and also a clinical breast exam, which is done by a licensed provider. So those are really critically important as well.
How do you have somebody that's a male and they want to be a female and they take all those estrogen injections and all to have breasts?
She went down that hole.
I had to ask as well. We know people like this.
Yeah, we do.
Well, if they have
Do
breasts,
they
then
come?
yes,
Yeah,
they come.
really?
We will do their mammogram.
Oh, okay.
Well, technically, everybody has breasts. Technically, we don't understand why. It's my first question to God when I get there, but
But they have female breast tissue, and
Right.
that's the key thing because of maybe the medicine they take that causes that.
So when somebody has a mastectomy, am I saying the word right?
Yeah.
Do and they have the choice to have reconstructive surgery or a prosthetic, who advises them on that?
That would be generally their provider themselves, and then also if they're working with a plastic physician, that would be the one who's going to be doing the reconstruction, to be able to make those discussions and tell them the benefits and the cons, and then also just to let them kind of be independent of trying to decide what they want to do.
Does the Michellogram or any other financing organization help with that?
There are organizations that help with that, and that would be something that definitely the reconstruction centers would be able to talk more, the plastic centers. With Michellegrams, this is our third year as a community hospital doing the Stand Up to Breast Cancer campaign, and so part of that is selling of the flamingos for $12, which we're really, really excited this year. Justin and I have been out communicating with business and industry. It's really critical that we get the whole community on board to talk about prevention and awareness. And so during the last couple of weeks of September and October, we're going to be flocking businesses with flamingos. And we have right now a list of businesses that we're so excited that have on board, and we promised we would announce them on the radio.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I want you to read it, but I want to know about the pink flamingos. Are they?
Oh, yeah.
They're $12. Are they big or what are they? Inflatable?
They are big. They're I shouldn't say almost as tall as I am because I'm pretty short, but they're pretty tall. They're probably about this. They've got two little legs that stick in the ground, or you can remove their legs, and they all talk about breast cancer awareness prevention.
They talk about it? What do you mean?
Well, yeah, they've got little neck lanyards.
Oh.
They're
Nice.
You didn't bring one?
They communicate very well.
We're asking folks when they purchase one to take that and place it in the yard or about the pool.
Well, we'll buy one.
And,
We'll put it right here. We'll put it in
and
the
take a
window.
picture of it
Yeah,
and
we'll buy one.
post that to our Facebook page so we can see where the flamingos are going and where they're
We will
been.
do that. We will buy one. We will put it up here, and we'll put a photo. So where do we go to get one?
Well, we can bring one right into you. We have some out in the vehicle.
You do?
Oh,
Yes.
good. We'll give
All right.
you the money
All
right away.
All right, we got one.
have
Thank you.
cash.
We just bought a flamingo.
That's right.
But the
is great.
flamingos are your typical yard flamingo, and they do have a placard that goes around the legs that says "Standing Up to Breast Cancer." So when you do place it out in your yard or in front of your business,
Oh, that's a wonderful idea.
individuals will know what it's for. It's not just your flamingo out in the yard. It has a cause behind it.
Do you know when you're driving down the road and it's really rough, you got a lot of traffic, and you're finally through Tampa, and this is the part of the conversation that suddenly became easy for me. Talking about pink flamingos. Whew,
That's right. We took pictures at Busch Gardens.
Busch Gardens.
yeah. Yeah, I just mean, I'm using my metaphor here. So it was a rough ride. There was a lot of traffic. I was stressed out.
That's right.
And now we're talking about, now it's my speed right here.
Scary, yeah.
Very scary, yeah.
But we're very fortunate. We've had 27 businesses come on board to allow us to flock their locations to drive the awareness of breast cancer screenings. So more flamingos in the community, more exposure for those folks to
Really?
keep it top of mind. They
All right,
get
so
their
we
screening.
need we need to get as many people out there on board with this. So if you have Facebook, you need to do this. Get a flamingo, start the whole thing. Too bad we don't have like a lawn out there.
Well, we will be flocking the Paddock Mall as one of our locations.
Oh, really?
You are?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Nice.
So we'll have some right across the window there. For
Oh, they're
going to
go right there?
There and
awesome.
also on State Road 200.
All right. So, but if we put it in the window here, will we be violating the code of conduct?
Yeah, we're going to have to keep it back here on the table. Yeah, he got yelled at the other day 'cause he put a piece of paper in the window just to put it there because he was done reading it,
Security guard tapped on the window. Hey.
That's security. It's a
Violates
fire
code of
thing or
conduct.
something, fire hazard.
So you wanted to name the businesses?
Yeah, we're very excited to have this partnership for education awareness. And so I'll go over just a few of them, but Phillips Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, Bellevue Veterinarian Hospital, Jenkins Auto Group, the Mojo Grill, DeLuca Toyota, Randy Alvord and Modern Woodman Fraternal Financial, Heritage Bank of the South, Camp Animal Hospital, showcase properties of Central Florida, Longhorn Steakhouse, and we were really excited when we even just approached them to have this discussion. 3 of them jumped right on board and made a donation. 100% of these donations go right back to Michelle Grams to helping local community folks to be able to access these services. And those 3 are DeLuca Toyota, Phillips Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, and the Jenkins Auto Group. So we're really happy to have their community support.
In addition, we have Georgia Florist Direct, Community Bank and Trust of Florida, Prestige Auto Sales, Adams Water Conditioning, All About You Women's Boutique, Performance Equine Veterinary Services, Tri-Eagle Sales, Brick City Title Insurance Agency, and Pro Therapy Speech Language Services.
Wow.
The last few businesses are Brick City Title Insurance Agency, the CEP, RBOI, the Paddock Mall, Strive Rehab, Langford T. Slaughter, DDS, First Impressions Printing, and Barbara and Valerie's Bookkeeping and Taxes.
All right.
Wow.
And the flamingos will be available at our 4 locations, at both hospitals and at both advanced imaging centers, as well as the Senior Wellness Community Center out on State Road 200.
Are they a pain to carry around? They seem like they're real bulky.
Well, we haven't got to the flocking part, so ask us in a week.
All right. And I'm just, well, how many do you have in the car right now?
I brought one with
Just
me.
one?
Yeah.
Oh, you knew?
Well,
There you go.
they're
That's
going
right.
fast. We're trying to keep hold of them.
Okay. Well, we try to support everything.
He sold some in the parking lot on the way in.
Did you really?
I bet you did.
Okay. You know, I've often wondered about the flamingo, actually, the bird itself. I mean, it's in everything associated with Florida, and you never see them.
Busch Gardens.
I know. In these enclosed
Yeah, you're
places.
right. They're not like flying around in the sky.
You move to Florida, you say, where are these birds?
That's right.
It's like nowhere.
I don't know where they're really native from. Probably some other
I don't know.
island or something.
And I heard the only reason they're pink is because they eat shrimp. Where
Shrimp.
are they
Yeah.
getting all the shrimp from?
That's right. Red Lobster.
SeaWorld.
That's right.
I want to make sure we don't end without having anything serious that needed to be said. And if you're out there and, we're laughing and you're worried about breast cancer, you need to be speaking to somebody in this room. So let's give phone numbers, websites. How do they get a hold of you?
Well, during the month of October, we are offering mammograms at advanced imaging centers for a reduced price if you're self-pay. The rate is $179, and that includes everything, the physician reading. If you need to make an appointment, you can call 867-9606, and the prompts will take you to the scheduling department. It's advisable that you get an order from your physician, so you'll have someone to follow your care. We have the 2 centers that both have digital mammography with CAD. That's 2300 Southeast 17th Street, Building 800, or 8150 State Road 200 out west next to McDonald's.
All right, excellent.
And if they have any more further questions regarding the navigation past that or even before, or also to get in touch with the genetic counselor, they can call 352-401-1000 or access our website at www.ocalahealthsystems.com.
System, no S.
I always do that too. I always do that too. Yeah, I get that wrong.
I thought I made a typo down. Okay.
Brittany, thank you for coming in. You didn't say anything, but thank you for coming in. Haley Creasy, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Justin Lamb, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Kelly McNeil, thank you for coming in.
you.
And Lisa Beecher, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you all for coming in. Robin, we usually have beautiful women on the other side of the window.
That's right.
Today we had them inside. I was
That's
very
right.
nervous. I was very nervous today. So we're gonna buy a flamingo. Thank you, ladies.
That's
Thank
right.
you, everybody.
Thank you for your
And
support.
gentlemen.
And gentlemen, I'm sorry. Yes, I always, I don't even see you there. It's hard to see you. There's a glare. I don't know if you feel it too. We'll take a little break. We'll be right back.
Habitat for Humanity of Marion County is a ministry dedicated to improving lives by providing affordable and decent housing. Help them help others by visiting the Habitat for Humanity Ocala home store on Northwest 27th Avenue. To schedule a donation, give them a call and they'll come and pick it up. For more information, visit habitatocala.org. Habitat for Humanity of Marion County, building homes, building hope, building community.
Universal Soil Solutions, steps to solving the sinkhole process. Step 1, be skeptical.
I had interviewed about 6 companies before I chose Universal Soil Solutions. You start being skeptical.